Everyone thinks raising minimum wage automatically makes everything cost more. The actual money trail tells a very different story. For decades, the accepted wisdom has been straightforward. Pay workers more, prices rise. It's intuitive. Labor is a cost. Higher costs get passed to consumers. And here's the trick, that logic works perfectly in a spreadsheet. But when you actually follow the cash line by line through real decades of wage history, something unexpected appears. The correlation between minimum wage increases and inflation is far messier than the theory predicts. In 1968, the federal minimum wage hit $1.60 per hour, its peak purchasing power in today's dollars. That was roughly $1.14 in modern money. Inflation that year, about 7%. Fast forward to 2009 when the minimum wage rose from $6.55 to $7.25. Inflation that year was negative. Prices actually fell. The wage went up. The economy contracted. So the simple rule breaks immediately. Here's where the money actually goes. When a small business raises wages, it doesn't instantly raise prices. Instead, it absorbs the cost through thinner profit margins, reduced hours, or slower hiring. Larger corporations do something different. They automate faster, consolidate supply chains, or cut middle management. Prices rise, sure, but not because of wages alone. Rent, energy, raw materials, and supply shocks matter far more. Studies tracking actual burger prices after minimum wage increases in specific states show modest jumps, usually between 0.3 and 0.7% per 10% wage increase. Not nothing, but far smaller than the proportional cost. Why? Labor isn't always the largest expense. For a fast food restaurant, it might be 25 to 30% of total operating costs. Rent, food, packaging, and equipment are the rest. The real explanation sits in labor market dynamics and competitive pressure. When minimum wage rises unevenly, some states increase, others don't. Businesses in low-wage states gain a temporary advantage. They hire faster, expand, and undercut competitors. The pressure spreads. Over time, wages across the economy tend to compress and rise together anyway, flattening the shock. And here's the trick. Consumer demand doesn't disappear when wages rise. Workers spend. That demand can offset price increases. The implication is uncomfortable for both sides of the debate. Minimum wage increases don't trigger the economic catastrophe critics predict, but they also don't solve poverty without accompanying policy, tax credits, housing support, healthcare reform. The money moves, it redistributes, but the system absorbs it differently than theory suggests, and the real cost isn't always visible on a price tag. This is why following the actual cash, transaction by transaction, sector by sector, decade by decade, matters more than following the argument. The relationship between wages and prices is real, but it's mediated by dozens of other forces: automation, competition, consumer behavior, and policy choices. Understanding that complexity is what separates real economic literacy from bumper sticker thinking. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to uncover the hidden cost structures behind the prices you pay every day, because the money trail always tells the real story. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.